girls, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I want to introduce somebody to you who's going to introduce our first guest. You're going to love him so much. But first, let's give a big round of applause to Joe Big Papi Avila.
Yeah, whatever. Okay. Who thinks they're pretty strong? All you? Okay, that's not strong. I'm going to show you somebody that's really strong. Okay? Really strong. And he's done this in front of the Dodgers, the Giants, the Angels, and all those other teams. Only the Giants matter. But anyway, he's going to show you some skills, but most of all, he has a great message. So I want you to listen to him. Dean Johnson.
Thank you, Joe. I love your bright shoes. Don't you just love Joe's bright shoes, everybody? Right now, I'm gonna take these soda cans that I have, and I'm gonna squeeze them so hard that they're gonna break in half. So if you're in the first few rows and you've never been water baptized, today is your day. So let's get a good countdown from 10. 10, 9, 8,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I can do that. I can do that. Okay, ready? Done. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's take off.
Yeah, drink up, Joe. It's warm outside. Come on. Right now, let's see what we have here. I'm gonna take this frying pan, and right now, I am gonna take this frying pan in my hands and I'm gonna roll it up like a burrito. And if you watch real closely, my hands will never leave my wrist. You guys are doing awesome. You are so energetic today. Can you guys keep helping me out? 10, 9,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He'll never do it. He'll never do it. Wait a minute, he's doing it. Oh my God. Oh, look at that. All right. Let's give him a big hand. Come on. Hey, you guys, can you guys get over here, please? Thank you. Thank you. Just get from that tent over there. No, you can't. Come on, please. Thank you. All right, guys, why don't you sit down so the guys in the back can see, okay? I promise you're not going to get wet anymore. Is it getting a little bit warm, Dean? A little bit warm here?
It is getting warm. Yes, right now I have this Iowa. You are not from Iowa, Joe, but I don't know who is from Iowa, but I took this license plate off your car. I'm going to rip it in half down the middle, and then that person's going to make a trip to the DMV to get it replaced. Can you guys keep it going right now with a good countdown, this time from 5. 5, 4, 3,
I'll use my outdoor voice. In just a minute, I'm going to take this steel bar and I might put it in my teeth and bend it till the ends touch. I might. But before I do that, I'm going to just share a few thoughts with you guys, and I need you guys to give me your best. I'm giving you my best today.
All right, thanks a lot.
And I need you to give me your best by sitting down and by listening real good, because I know with this echoing machine and now no microphone, it's going to take a lot of focus from you guys. Oh, wait. It's going to take a lot of focus for you guys to hear what it is I have to say. But I believe I have something today to share with you that's going to help you to be better than when you got here. When you're born and the doctor hands you to your mother or your father, your life and your mind is like a blank canvas. if you could imagine a canvas being behind me that you paint pictures on.
Yes, 1, 2, 3.
And when the doctor hands you to your mom and your dad, people with their words begin to paint pictures on the canvas of your mind. And by the time you're in junior high, that picture is nearly complete. Psychologists will call it your self-image. 3 areas today that shape your life and who you are. The first area that shapes your life, young people, is the area of appearance. And so often in life, we look at other people and we judge what's on the outside, but we miss what's on the inside. It's like a young man, when I did a school assembly in Northern California, it was a middle school, and afterwards that principal came and she said, I loved your school assembly today, but I wish you had been here 2 weeks ago. I said, why? She said, maybe Kenny would still be here. I said, well, tell me about Kenny. Kenny was an 8th grader, and Kenny was overweight. And Kenny didn't feel very good about who he was. Every day at school, those kids would poke fun at Kenny. They would sing songs about him. They'd call him names like Fatty and Doughboy and Roly Poly. And some people might laugh, but Kenny didn't laugh. Kenny went home every night and cried himself to sleep because of the pain in his life. And one day it became too much, and Kenny went home that day. He walked into his father's bedroom, he opened a drawer, and he pulled out a gun. And Kenny went out to the backyard and he penned a note. And then Kenny took his life as an 8th grader. When his mom came home, she found her son by a tree, and she found that note on his chest, and this is all the note said. I can't take the teasing at school anymore. That was all the note said. I can't take the teasing at school anymore. See, there was an old saying, young people, sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will never hurt me. There's nothing further from the truth. Words go deeper than outward bruises. They get into our mind, we start to believe them, they drop down in our heart, and we start to become them. It's like that circus master who had a baby elephant and he chained it to a pole in the ground. And every day that elephant, he'd pull on that chain, and he'd pull on the chain, and he'd pull on the chain, but he couldn't break the chain. And one day that elephant got big, he got huge, and you would say he must have broke the chain. But he didn't break the chain because he just stopped pulling. He wasn't bound by a chain anymore. He was bound by the image that someone painted on the canvas of his mind that said you can't, you won't, and you never will. And some of you young people right now at the sound of my voice, you go home to some situations that aren't so good. Some of you right now feel like you're living on Dead End Street and your house address is 0. And you might have people in your life that are painting negative pictures on the canvas of your mind, telling you what you're not, what you'll never become. See, people are like elevators. They take you up or they take you down. There's 2 kinds of people here today, image makers and image breakers. Anybody can tear someone down with their words. But where are the people that are going to push others to be the best they can be? That's what I love about your coaches, that take of their time to come out here and not just coach you in football, but they're here to coach you and raise you up how to be young men, full of power and purpose and character and conviction. I have a friend, and my friend grew up like a lot of young guys do, probably like many of you, but at 16 years old, he experienced losing his dad. And from the time he was 16, he didn't get to know what it felt like to have a dad to teach him how to shave, how to fix an engine, how to treat a girl the right way. And he started to learn there at 16 years old that life is pain and pain is life, and he better just learn how to deal with it. And he started to get involved in some things that he shouldn't have been involved with. He started going down some roads that he otherwise never would have gone down had someone been there to pour into his life and to help him during those tough times. And my friend started getting involved in some substance use. And he came to a place in his life where he wanted to give up on everything and quit. And you say, Dean, that sounds like a sad story. But it's not a story of tragedy, it's a story of victory. It's not the story of someone who got knocked down. It's the story of someone who had the strength to stand up. And before I bend this bar, I made up my mind, I want to invite my friend to bend this bar. Because see, that's Eric's story. Eric, would you come up here? And Eric's going to come right now. Eric just recently had a change made in his life. He's never done anything like this before, coaches. And, you know, honestly, I think there was probably a time when working out was the only productive thing Eric was doing. Working out to build his back arm so big so when he hits someone, they feel his pain. And what Eric learned in life is that as the years went by, life got longer, his muscles got stronger, and his heart grew harder. But there was a change made in Eric's life. And before I give him this bar for the first time, he's going to attempt to bend a steel bar behind his neck. But I wanted Eric to just come and share with you young people for a moment something that's going to encourage you today. Young people, you are amazing right now listening in this hot sun with this echoey microphone. Would you guys encourage Eric as he comes?
How we doing, guys? Well, I grew up a lot like you guys. I had a mom, a dad. I grew up with a decent family, nice childhood. And at 16 years old, that all got taken away from me. I had to witness coming from summertime. It was a hot day like this. I went swimming. I came inside because I wanted to change. I had to get some ice cream. I want that ice cream, like I saw some of you guys eating today. I'm in my room changing, and I hear my mom echoing saying, "Bob, you're scaring the kids." And it's not like my dad to be playing a joke when I'm not around. So I peek my head around the corner to see what's going on. I see my dad flat on his back. He wasn't living anymore. 2 days later, I was able to visit him in the hospital, and he's got tubes hooked up to his mouth. He's hooked up to some machines that are making him breathe because he can't do it on his own. And that right there, to see someone that brought you into this world not living anymore, it makes you feel empty and hollow. It makes you feel lost. I didn't know where to go. I was 16 years old, and I had to witness my dad die. So I started hurting myself real bad. I started taking pills. And eventually, I wasn't high enough. I started turning to alcohol. And I drank every single day to numb myself from the world, because the world wasn't offering me anything. There's no bottom place than where I was. It wasn't until January, on my birthday, January 18th of this year, I had to live with that for 19 years. And I got the gift, the best present I've ever given. It was someone who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. Someone filled me with encouragement when I wasn't encouraged. I was weak, I was tired, and he gave me strength. Well, he also gave me the encouragement to come out here and stand in front of all you guys and start telling you, you don't have to go down the same road I had to go down. You don't have to live at the bottom of the barrel and have to scrape and wonder how you're going to make it day to day. There is hope. There is encouragement. And I'm very blessed to be here in front of y'all. Thank you so much.
Now let's give Eric an encouragement. Eric has never even taken hold of a steel bar before. But right now, I challenged Big Eric this morning. He is stepping up to the challenge. Young people, champions do every day what others people do occasionally. They do what others people won't so they can be what other people aren't. And right now, Eric is willing to step up here in front of all of you with your encouragement, and we're going to give him a loud countdown from 10. He's going to put that bar behind his neck, and he's going to pull on it with everything he has and bend it until the ends touch. So let's get Eric going with a good, encouraging countdown from 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on, let's encourage Eric today. Come on, Eric. Come on, let's go. He's got it. Oh, he's got it. Touch. Wow. Wow. That's for Big Eric. Oh, that was awesome. You know,
We got one more.
just keep it right there. You know, Eric just got me so fired up, Eric. I'm going to put this bar now in my teeth, and I am going to bend it until the ends touch. So you guys try to encourage me. I think you gave a little more encouragement to Eric than you did to me, but you got a second chance to make it up. So here we go. 10, 9.
Come on now.
fired up. I'm gonna finish our talk. You guys can be seated. In just a minute, I'm gonna finish the program by taking these phone books and ripping them in half down the middle. But I just wanna say to you guys, as you heard Eric sharing his story, let me just say this to you guys. Everyone look up here at my big blue eyes. Drugs and alcohol are an equal opportunity employer and destroyer. They'll take you further than you want to go, they'll cost you more than you want to pay, and they'll keep you longer than you want to stay. Drugs and alcohol don't care about your size, your age, your race, your social background, your family, your mommy, your daddy. They don't care about you. They look for the opportunity for you to crack open a window, for them to come inside of you. And it's not you that uses the drug and the alcohol. It's the drug and the alcohol that winds up using you and takes you down roads that you never would have wanted to be going down. Some of you have examples at home of people who have destroyed their lives behind drugs and alcohol. And I'm thankful for every Say No program that would come to your schools and do a program like this. But the fact is, and the truth of the matter is you'll never say no to anything until you have a reason to say no. Some of you, at the sound of my voice, you need to find today, not tomorrow, today, the reason to say no to these substances. A reason to say no to these substances that will cause your life to take turns that are going to take, like Eric talked about, many years to come back. That second area that shapes your life is the area of importance. Every one of us needs to feel important, and it's up to us to help others feel important. Listen, young people, if you spend your life pleasing the crowd, you're going to be an emotional roller coaster, up one day, down the next. You'll always be at the mercy of the opinions of the people around you. If you're going to follow the crowd, you got to know where the crowd is going. And so often in life, we let people, places, and things dictate the choices we make, and it causes us to become a person we were never intended to be. I met a young man in a high school in Vacaville named Tommy. I did that school assembly, and afterwards he came to me, and he wrote me a letter, and this is what he said. He said, "Dean, my dad left when I was a little baby because he cared more about his filthy drug than he did his own family. My mom and I struggled on the streets of Oakland, homeless for 2 years, bouncing from motel to motel until they finally landed there in Vacaville. Tommy became the biggest drug dealer there on his campus. He had already collected money from all the students, and he was going to buy. He then sat in that school assembly program, and after I shared, he said he went home, he flushed those drugs down the toilet, he gave the money back to all the students who he'd collected from, and he made up his mind. He made a choice. Everyone say choice. Choice. He made a choice that he was going to get back involved in baseball, and he was going to get his grades up. Tommy wrote me a letter last year. He's now graduated high school, and he's now enlisted in a gang. This isn't just any gang. This is the greatest gang anyone could enlist in, because he represents the United States of America, as he is now a part of the United States Air Force, serving his country, all because of a choice. Young people, your future swings on a hinge called a choice. That last area, and I'm finished, appearance shapes who you are, importance shapes who you are, and finally, performance shapes who you are. And young people, listen to me. If you're going to perform for the crowd, like I said, you better know where the crowd is going. Real friends brag about your strengths and defend your weaknesses. That's what a real friend is. Real friends aren't the ones who are telling you go down roads and not take care of your responsibilities at a young age. Those aren't real friends. So you got to know who you're performing for. There's nothing wrong with performing in school, performing on an athletic field, but don't you ever let your performance dictate what you think of yourself. This is what success is. Young people, look up here. Success is this. It's giving your best when your best is required. It's not giving Eric's best. It's not giving my best. It's giving your best. It's not giving what you wish you had. It's not giving what someone else has. It's giving all that you have at that precise moment when it counts the most. And if you do that in your life, then at the end of the day, you can look in the mirror and you can say, today I gave my best. Then you are successful. Right now, I'm going to take this phone book. I had to tape 2 of them back to back because they make them so small now.
Pretty soon I'll have to rip iPads in half because that's where all the information is going. Some of y'all don't even know what a phone book is. Any young people not even know what a phone book is? Yeah. I was watching a movie, and a 16-year-old looked at me. The man pulled up next to a phone booth. And the 16-year-old said, "What's that?" I said, "It's a phone booth." I said, "If Superman were alive today, he wouldn't have anywhere to change." They didn't even know what a phone booth was. So right now, I'm going to take this phone book. I'm going to rip it in half down the middle. Young people, you've been amazing. Listen to me. There's a lot of names in this phone book. Thousands. Some of you, like I said, under the sound of my voice, you've heard a lot of names used to label you and who you are in your life. Some of you, you've heard you're stupid, you're a throwaway, you're a nobody, you'll never amount to anything, you'll be just like your dad, you'll be just like your brother. I want to say this today. I don't know what obstacles you have in your life. I don't know what walls you face. But I want this book and all these names in it to represent every negative name that's ever been labeled on you in your life. Listen, you're born an original, don't die a copy. Why in the world would you want to fail being like somebody else when you could be the greatest you that's ever existed? So when I take this phone book, let it represent any hurt, any pain, any negative word that's been spoken over your life. And when I rip it in half, let those things be ripped out of your life. Young people, you have been phenomenal. Thank you, Joe Avila. Thank you, Coach Bill, for allowing me to come once again. This is one of my favorite events to do all year. I love being in front of these incredible young people. And thank you, coaches, for the investment that you take to make in the lives of young people. Young people, let me tell you something. Those coaches aren't being paid. You say, "Dean, they got to be getting a paycheck." And you're actually right, they are. There's about 100 paychecks sitting right here because you are their paycheck today. So if you could take something positive from your experience with them, then they will gladly say it was all worth it, and they'll come back again. Let's get one more countdown from 10, and we're going to rip those things right out of your life. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's hear it. Let's hear it, guys. Let's hear it. Come on.
Let's give it up for Dean. Time to come back next year, right? Okay.